Hi, welcome back to Too Busy for AI. And Igor's back. So excited to see you again and so excited to record with you.
Yes, and just as an interesting tidbit, you don't normally get to see this view, but you can see my feet today, and I tend to wear mismatched shoes. So if I flip, it's my style.
I'm thinking that for today's episode, I really want to tie it back to all of the people who are seeking jobs or will be seeking jobs shortly, especially given all of the massive layoffs that we've had over the past couple of weeks, um, and how AI really fits into that. And I think if I have to say what the takeaway is that the um, one, AI skills are non-negotiable nowadays, uh, at least from what I can see. And two, what people need to know in terms of AI skills are not what was needed even half a year ago. It's a lot more advanced now. Let's say half a year ago, a PM with AI skills would be expected to understand some basics of prompt engineering and some basics of AI workflow. Whereas something that I saw recently says that a similar PM nowadays interviewing might need to know the entire end-to-end workflow of how an AI agentic system works, what it takes to train a model from scratch, what it takes to refine the model, um, all of the various ways that it could be integrated and have it scale in production. So the expectation just keeps increasing in terms of what people are expected to know.
Yeah, I have a different lens that I look at that through. The thing that's different before and after AI is what does it mean that you can get stuff done and how much stuff can you get done relative to the baseline. And just like you said, from 6 months ago to today, the amount you can get done is so much different. And the excuses for what blocks you is just the bars are so much higher now.
AI, at the end of the day, it's just automation. It's hyper automation, and it's taking what people do manually and having the computer do it. Same thing as always. Same story as always when it comes to software development. Um, but there's a quirk to it. There's a whole aspect of integrating it into all of the kind of software automation that we've been doing for a couple of decades now and adding generative AI into that. So what I noticed in the past few weeks is that for most of the people that I work with, for most of my clients, they it's inaccurate to say that they don't care about AI. It's more accurate to say that they don't really care how it's done. AI to them needs to be invisible when we're developing software for our customers, especially for the consumers out there. They don't want to know how the sausage is made. They just want to know that it works. And that's a conclusion that I came to over the past few weeks was that AI just needs to be invisible. It's just part of the software. But that also ties back into the um, expectations of people to be able to integrate and understand how all of these things work and effectively integrate it into software that we build from here on.
Yeah, and I think I'll say when we talk about expectations, maybe as we talk about product managers, what really has blown me away in the last month has been how you can use AI into other things. So, for example, I am really bad at UI design and drawing interfaces, and there's a tool now called Figma Make, which I used literally for the first time this week. I'm slightly embarrassed it took me this long to try it. And it's like in 3 minutes, I can have like a fully functional UI, which is crazy. And that's just like, it's an incredible new skill for me that I've never had. And similarly, I do a lot of, as a sort of in a leadership role, I have to push initiatives through my organization. And to do that, like you need to kind of make marketing material. And you think, oh, I'll have it write my email for me. Well, instead of that, I had it make like a full-blown video. And so in a couple of hours, I was able to make a really fun raccoon video that was like crazy. And 5 years ago, or probably 1 year ago, it would have been like $10,000 to have that movie commissioned. And literally it took me, 4 hours. And so you just have these whole new capabilities you didn't have before. And so if I was in an interview in the modern world, and I was talking to someone, I think far more impressive to me than someone saying like, "Oh, I understand how the agentic workflow works," being actually like, "Oh, and I can create a video for this, and oh, I know how to create the AI," and so less about sort of just depth of software engineering, but breadth of all the things you can do. And I heard this great analogy, which I thought was really superior. So the analogy we're using before is like these AIs are just like interns, and you're like the intern mentor with like 9 interns. I think a much better analogy is that you are now like a surgeon and you have a bunch of specialists in the operating theater with you. And so you have the nurse that's really good at this, and you have the person that's really good at this. And your job, you still have this high bar of quality, is to really coordinate these other professionals to make yourself successful and scale as much as you can.
That's great for people who are experienced, for the people who are going to be looking in the near future. I'm not so sure that someone fresh out of college could be that surgeon in the room moderating all sorts of things to accomplish a surgery.
I actually disagree. So when I interview people, if I'm not on, the standard FANG scripts, one of the things I say is like, explain this to me. I don't care what it is. You pick the topic, you're going to explain it to me, and we're going to go really deep. And I want to see like, did you understand this? And I don't care if it's your hobby about knitting or this thing you built. It's like, do you have this curiosity? Did you explore everything? And so my recommendation would be, if you don't have a lot of experience, go find something you're passionate about and do it as good as you can. And I think there's really a progression where I think you'll always end here, where you sort of have, at the start, you have generalists, you have like hyper specialists, and you have these people that are kind of in the middle because the tools aren't very good. Um, and then as we get better tools, like you still have the people that are the super specialists, and then the generalists handle the rest. Um, like this is probably the case if you think about accounting before AI, right? Probably used to have people that were like specialized in doing taxes. Almost no one could do it themselves. Then we have TurboTax, and so we still have like accountants who have really complicated stuff, but I'm guessing for the majority of people, like TurboTax just does it for you.
There was a question from the pilot episode about how you, Igor, you think that eventually AI is going to replace doctors, but I think that's kind of what you mean. There's going to be those generalists, the doctors who are going to focus on that bedside manners, that human interaction side of things, and then there's going to be the hyper specialists who are going to be training the AI models, and there's everything in between increasingly is going to be automated. I'm already hearing actually from doctors and dentists where AI does a better job of analyzing x-rays than they can.
I do love that. And wrapping that up, I don't know if you caught something, which was like that thing you want in the future with that one of those really key skills when you talk about AI skills is actually that being able to deal with people empathetically. So in this world of doctors where their technical skills not going to be differentiated because the AI is going to be doing the technical work, what really matters is like how do they engage with the people and how they make sure their customer relationship is really good. And so don't skip that when you're thinking about your interview skills.
So I guess maybe that's the other takeaway from all of this, and that kind of coming back to the theme we repeated over the past few episodes, human skills, people skills, those soft skills, that's going to be extremely critical. Being able to understand our customers and being able to translate that and telling the computer what to do, telling the AI what to do, that's going to be hyper critical. So tying this back to our last episode where we were discussing layoffs, the message is still the same. Go back to your community, talk to people, get really, really good at the human element, at the things that the AI simply cannot replace. If you're trying to be the best person on the latest and greatest JavaScript library or C++ library, it's probably not going to be super relevant moving forward. But being able to understand empathetically what your customers need, what people are willing to pay for, man, that's going to be gold moving forward.
100%.
Cool. All right. Call to action. I don't know if I can think of anything right now, but usually we end up with like 5 minutes and then 10 minutes.
I would say if you haven't, definitely try one of the video models. Oh,
But
fantastic.
this is something that I need to do too. I haven't played around with the video models, interestingly enough. I don't have any inspiration. What would I even try it for?
I would say just go into one of the apps, try one, and you will just have fun for 20 minutes. And then after that, we'll come up with a inspiring use case for you because it actually depends. The different apps actually have different capabilities.
Thanks for the homework, Igor.
Absolutely.
Till next time.
Till next time.